everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Feed the Beast Monster. Oh yeah, guys. So I'm just sitting here doing what I do sometimes when I'm just wasting time and flying around my island backwards. I'm kind of failing at it right now. I'll get back in the rhythm here in just a second. But yeah, I find this fun, just kind of like falling off the island and just kind of, I guess, revolving around it. That blaze down there, that's that weird thing that we were seeing from Rotary Craft. I'm not sure exactly what causes that thing, but it has to do with the spawner over here and having the spawner controller on top of it. It's pretty weird. We do see that guy down here floating like almost all the time, and you can see him on the mini-map too. Just a random blaze there. Yeah, I don't know what that's about. But yeah, guys, today what I want to do is I want to look at a problem that we're having. So we set up this big reactor, and I was like, yeah, that's great. This is going to provide all the power we need. Look, our energy buffer is fine. No problem at all. We're containing all the heat and the core heat and all of this stuff. Yeah, and we are also using our laser drill. So we have plenty of power left over. Well, then I came over here and I was like, you know, how much yellow room do we have? So I saw that we have 44,000, but then I was like, you know, it's pretty weird that we don't have any yellow rim ores. Well, as it turns out, the laser drill actually is not working. And the problem is, this tesseract that I have here, I had it set so item mode was blocked. So the items that this thing was collecting, it gets one, puts it into its internal inventory, tries to put it somewhere, and it can't, so it doesn't do anything else. So this thing has not been working for actually quite a long time now. So yeah, that's kind of a problem. So let's put this item mode sent only. So now that whatever item was in there, it put into the tesseract, which went into our main ME system, and now it's doing its work. Okay, fair enough. That's great. But then I came back over here and I was looking at our reactor. And yeah, so we actually are not making enough power to run the base and the laser drill. I thought 17, 18 KRF a tick was enough. Nope, it is not. Okay, so we need to fix this problem, which means I think we are going to add a few more big reactors here. How many is a few? I don't know. Another thing you guys are telling me though is that this liquid enderium that I have in here, liquid ender, whatever, that I only need source blocks at the top. I don't have to fill in every single space with that, which is pretty cool to know. That means that I can either remove some of the extra in here and just have a ring along the top, or yeah, I don't know. I think it'll just make it easier to set up these things up in the future. So I'm not sure what we're gonna do here. I do want the cyanide reprocessor going, but it kind of feels like I might have to do all three in a row, or maybe have 6 big reactors going at a time. I guess we will have to hook up one more, see how we're doing on power. Easy. See how we're doing on power. If we need more than 3, then we'll go from there. But I think I'm going to end up moving the cyanide reprocessor to another one of these different sections. Not like it really matters. There's really no wires or pipes hooked up to this thing. It's just 3 tesseracts and that one block. So yeah, let me go ahead and hook up a few more of these big reactors and we'll be right back. So I'm in the process of making the second reactor over here. I got the outline pretty much done. I was going to fill up the center full of the gelid Cryo-Theum, but then I was looking at my supply of the stuff. Yeah, the Cryo-Theum dust. So we got 10 of that, and I believe you need 4 per bucket, I think. It's something like that. So we need a bunch more of this stuff. So I was looking at how to make the Cryo-Theum dust, which requires this Blizz powder. And you get that from Blizz rods. You get 2 per rod, or you can get 4 per rod in a pulverizer. We can also do snowballs with destabilized redstone, which is kind of... I'd rather not do it that way. So I know a while ago we captured a Blizz, and yeah, we have it in a safari net, so that means we can spawn it. So we can make use of our spawning island over here once again. So we got a few of these. I think this one is not in use at this moment. Let's go ahead and break that. Oh, good. My magnet's on. Yeah. So let's go ahead and put the Blizz. Oh, can I not click on that? Click. No. Okay. So let's kind of go down here a little bit. Right. So safari net with the Blizz in there. These guys got 20 health. Okay. So let's go ahead and put this back together again. Turn this guy on. And we should get some blizz. Okay, there's 1, 2, 3. Okay, so those guys are spawning in there. It seems like they're kind of floating, though. I mean, these guys are not acting anything like the blaze, where they kind of float down. Yeah, these guys over here, when we get these guys spawning, let's go ahead and just do this for funsies. When we get these guys spawning, they spawn like crazy, and then they all float down and go directly into the portal. Turn this back off. We don't really need that many blaze rods. Yeah, that's what the blaze normally do. They just kind of float down when they don't have aggro. Oh man, the lag is real. But yeah, these blizz are kind of acting differently. It's like they want to hover more and they don't want to go down. It looks like they are going down every once in a while, but I think we're probably going to have to do something different with these guys to really farm them. That's awesome. Oh, I love this blaze spawner. This thing is so great. So let's try moving these guys. Instead of letting them float down into the portal, let's try another setup like this one over here, where you have the fans going and that'll push any mob into the portal. Maybe that'll work better. I don't know if these guys can be pushed or not. Oh, you know what? We're probably gonna have to wait for these guys to go away. I forget how... Yeah, I forget how aggressive these guys are, how strong they are. I mean, I'm sure I could fight them, but I don't want them going all over the place either. You know what? Let's just break the glass and let's just start killing them, I guess. Okay, do we got a bow? I got a bow. Oh, I don't have any arrows. Let's grab some arrows. Start taking these guys down. Oh, yeah, you know, that's another thing people have told me. When the magnet's on, like, arrows don't work. Okay, so let's turn that off and try this again. There we go. Okay, we can take care of some of these guys anyway. Okay, here you go, there we go. There's another one down. You know what? Let's just get in here. Probably can get a better drop if I use my sword on these guys anyway. Come here, guy. Oh yeah, look at all those snowballs. That's crazy. Oh, that's a lot of blizz rods. Okay. 2 more? Look at all that drop. That's so good. Okay, awesome. So we got rid of those guys. Now, while we can use a sword on them, I don't know if we really want to, though. Oh, you know what? I just died, but I didn't die. I didn't see a death message. Okay, so we need to get down here, grab the blizz thing. If I could scoot over properly, the suit is a little crazy sometimes. Okay, so get the safari net out of there. We'll button that back up. So let's come over to this one. Yeah, I got glass everywhere, and I can come in here. Okay, so we'll put the blizz in here. Spawn exact copy, no. You know what? I realized this thing just does not have the redstone connection on there for some reason. I don't remember why that is. Okay, so I think I could just float down here a little bit. Why am I not... I'm having problems with this suit today. There we go. Okay, so let's turn this guy on. Hello? Okay, there we go. Okay, so I think this one's going to work much better. So these guys are spawning. Those open block fans are pushing them into the portal. Yeah, they're not lingering around at all. Okay, so that's good. So we got a little bit of experience over here. It's kind of hard to see what's going on. There's just too many black particles. I was kind of thinking there was going to be a lot of those snowballs and blizz rods over here. Let's turn particles off real quick, and just so we can kind of see what's going on. Oh yeah, there are blizz rods and snowballs in there. I wonder if I should go down there and try and collect some of that stuff. Let's turn the magnet on, and let's just poke. Oh, I guess they just went right through the glass to me. Okay, that works. So how many blizz rods do we get? 13 and some snowballs. That's pretty good. Right, so let's look at our blizz rod production right now. We're at 56. That's not bad at all. So we can take those guys, let this continue to farm, and we'll stick these blizz rods over here in a pulverizer. Oh, you know what? I don't think we have a pulverizer that doesn't go directly into a furnace. So what we can do, let's just do We'll turn that off. And we'll just stick these in the pulverizer. Okay, so that'll make our blizz powder. I'll just come back here and manually grab that in a little bit. But yeah, I want to let these guys go for a while, collect a bunch of the blizz rods. We got 9 more so far. I probably want something like 4 or 5 stacks. So yeah, I'm just going to let these guys go for a little bit of time. Yeah, guys, so let me continue working on the reactor. I'm going to try and set at least this one up. I'll probably set up a second one over here, and we'll be right back. Okay, guys, so I got all 3 of our reactors hooked up. Now, the 2 on the ends over here, I only have the liquid ender around the top ring, and it's just flowing down for the rest of it. The center, I do have the liquid cryothium or the gelid cryothium. I have 5 source blocks in there, since when you place a source block, it tends to float down. So you can't just put one at the top because it'll eventually move down and there will be 4 empty spaces in there. Okay, so I have that on both of these end ones, and I haven't tested these yet. I don't know how the reactor power is going to work. But yeah, we have the 8 fuel rods in the center, gelid cryothium in the very center block. The rest of it's surrounded by the liquid ender, and it's set up exactly the same. We have the tesseracts on the sides, set to send only on the power, and then we're using the tesseracts for the yellorium input and the cyanite output. Okay, so I think the test is to go ahead and turn this guy on and see how this does as far as power production goes. I'm curious if the core heat and the casing heat is going to be the same, since we don't have source blocks everywhere. We just have it along the top ring. So it looks like we're holding at 17.5 for the core and 16.30 for the casing. So let's take a look how that compares over here. Yep. Looks like it is relatively the same. Maybe it's a little bit lower on heat on this, but not enough that it even matters. Okay, so we're making 17.9, and this one is making 17.9. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that. It feels like they're basically the same, so I'm not even going to be worried in the slightest. Okay, so now that we have double the power going, let's turn on our laser drill. Well, I guess we'll just turn on the item mode to let it continue to run. Okay, so now we got that going. We have 2 of these reactors going. I'm curious how the power is working on this. Okay, so the power is draining on this guy. Is the power holding steady over here? The power is holding steady on this one, but I'm curious though, once the power runs out over on this guy, because it looks like this is draining, when the power runs out on this one, is it going to start draining power on the other one as well? So maybe we should just go ahead and start up our third one over here. Let's go ahead and do this. Turn that guy on. So this should be exactly the same. Should go up to about 17. Maybe eventually. And then this is gaining power in the buffer, which is good to see. Okay, so that one's gaining power. Is this one gaining power again as well? No, this one is still losing power. So I don't know how this is going to end up working. We have 3 times the power going. This one's holding steady. The 2 on the ends are both holding steady, and this one is draining power. Maybe this one will just always be no buffer at all, and these other 2 will have a slight little buffer. I guess we'll just have to wait and see how this is going to work. But yeah, it seems like with triple the power we had previously, we should be able to run that laser drill no problem. I mean, we've got, what is that, about 50, no, it's about 40 something RF a tick now. So yeah, I think we should be pretty good. Yeah, this looks like it's using about 2,000 a tick from this side. Just guessing by the energy buffer, how it's down 2,000 is holding steady. So is this guy all the way drained yet? So this is all the way drained. The other one looked like it was holding steady. Is this one losing any power? This one is kind of fluctuating, but it looks like it's holding steady. Okay, I think we're going to be pretty good as far as power goes. That is awesome. I was very concerned what we were going to do for power, but yeah, I think this is going to work out perfect. Okay, so now that that's going, our cyanide reprocessor over here should be going triple time, making the plutonium. But as I was looking... No, I don't have access to my remote over here. I probably should run the implied energistics and get the wireless thing hooked up on this side just so we have more range. But I was looking, so the yellorium that we have, we are at 43,000 Yeah, 43,000, which is still a lot. And how about the blue? The plutonium, we're at almost 2,000 of this. So this is extra fuel that we will be able to use once the yellorium runs out. Also, we have almost 10,000 blocks of uranium, so that's like another 20,000 yellorium once that gets processed. So I think we're going to be doing pretty good. Plus, we got almost 700 more of the uranium essence. So our planter that we have over here, the planter harvester combo, I believe this is going to be keeping up more than enough of all the uranium we need to keep this thing going indefinitely. I don't even know if we're ever going to get to the point where we need to use the plutonium. But one thing I should do is hook up some patterns. Where is it? This one? Yeah, I should hook up some patterns. I was doing the gelid cryothium right here. Hook up patterns to pulverize the uranium and then redstone furnace them, smelt them into the yellorium blocks. So that would mean that I need to make 4 of these patterns over here. So actually, let's go ahead and do that real quick. So I need... Actually, where am I? I'm getting confused. My base is like... Everything is kind of the same. So if I'm not paying attention to where I am, I get lost. So we need the yellorium. Let's grab... what is it? The uranium? Yep. So we got 10,000 of those. Okay, so let's clear this out. We'll do 1 block equals 2 ingots. And we want to make 4 patterns. Grab this guy and grab that guy. Awesome. Okay, so now we can come over here to our smeltery. Our smelting area, I should say. So we'll put that guy in there. Let's go ahead and throw this in each and every one of these guys. With applied energistics, if you have more than 1 pattern in an interface like this, it'll actually distribute the load evenly among all of them. So I could tell my system right now to make 20,000 yellorium ingots, and it should split them up pretty much evenly among all those diamond chests up there. So let's go ahead and do that. If you middle click on these things, if you have a pattern, it'll actually bring up this crafting grid. I didn't know this until just recently. Somebody left a comment in one of my videos telling me about that. That's awesome, because without that, you basically have to click this button until you get to the craft, and then craft, and then click this until you get back to see how much you have. Yeah, that's not very nice. So middle click is awesome. I'm glad somebody told me about that. So let's tell this to make 20,000 yellorium ingots. Begin. Now we should see, yeah, all of those guys just clicked on. And do I have this configuration turned on? I think this one needs to be set. There we go. Awesome. Okay, so if we look up here, yeah, we got almost 3 stacks, almost 3 stacks, 4 stacks. Okay, so it's just going to dump all of that uranium into those chests. It's going to process, and we'll get more yellorium. Awesome. This is so cool. I love applied energistics and the fact that they added that distributed load thing. That's very, very cool. All right, guys, give me a few moments here. I'm going to look for something else to do, and we'll be right back. So one thing that's been bothering me about my base is that we have our main island here. We got the rooms that look all very similar, and then the corners we have the glass. But on our other 2 extension islands over here, it's all glass on all of these, and they all look the same. But this middle one's slightly different because we have the grass sections, and then we have the planter. I think what I want to do, I think we're going to end up making another one of these islands, but we're going to have it specifically for our plants and tree farms, things like that. So it'll be all grass on the surface, and then we won't have to worry about these little rooms below and things. So yeah, what I want to do is go ahead and start removing some of the grass. Like over here, for instance, we're not doing anything with the grass. So we can go ahead and get rid of this stuff, and I want to put the clear glass on top. I think that's going to make the base look a little bit more better, and then they'll give me a reason to build another island so we can have all of our growable stuff over there. Okay, so let me do this real quick. Yeah, this is something that I've really been thinking about for a while now, and I think it's time just to go ahead and do it. Okay, so we got that except for those 3. Come here. Okay, very good. So now we need to grab this clear glass. We'll lay this out right like so. Another thing I need to do is start mass producing more clear glass. We don't have a whole lot of it left. So let's go ahead and use our builder's wand to place this really quickly. This is probably my favorite item in Feed the Beast Monster is the Builder's Wand. It just lets you create things so fast without having to spam click everything. Okay, very good. There we go. Another thing I need to do, we needed the light gray dye. I think it's this that we used before. And this will allow us to dye all of our blocks so they are gray and they match the floor and the surrounding walls a little bit better. Okay, now we can come up here and dye these guys. Awesome. Okay, so yeah, not only does it look better, but it lets you see the walls and, you know, the general patterns and things that I have going on. Unfortunately, our ME system, we put in the wall right there, and there's really no way to cover that up. I could use micro blocks, but since these are connected textures, the micro blocks I don't think look very good. And then there's just like a little lip or whatever on them. So yeah, that's something, I don't know, I guess we can just deal with it. It doesn't look too bad. Oh, and we are missing a block right here below our advanced turtle. Do I have another one of those? Cobblestone, we need cobblestone with dent. This guy right here. Let's go ahead and patch that up real quick. Bink. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do that everywhere. Below here, this is our auto fortune ore setup. And this was our Gascraft eMasher resource thing. I think I'm going to deconstruct this. We'll probably leave the fluid duct here that we are sending water wirelessly over a Tesseract. And I'll probably move the auto fortune ore machine on this side over here. As far as this bedrock goes, we'll probably use the rotary craft bedrock breaker to get rid of that thing. I don't think we're ever going to do anything with the Gascraft or eMasher resource. It was kind of cool to experiment with, but, you know, unfortunately, you can't get the oil blocks, and that's what I was really interested in, so we could try and power our base off oil using that stuff. But yeah, unfortunately, it's all the natural gas, and there really isn't a whole lot of use for the natural gas. Yeah, this is our tree farm over here. This will be moved. This isn't a really big setup that we have to worry about. So yep, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Remove all of these guys, change it all to glass. We'll probably start working on building another island for the growable stuff over here fairly soon, I think. But for now, I think we can just go ahead and get rid of this stuff. This tree farm hasn't been used in at least a month, if not 2. And as far as our essence goes, we got 70,000 of our magic crop essence dust. I think we're good for a while. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to leave a like on this episode if you liked it. And we'll see you next time.